replies to your last tweet about the live stream or whatever. Some guy said he better be wearing a suit and tie, so I figured that was a good call.
Yeah, I think the audience expects nothing less. So I'm ready to roll when you are, Jack.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Well, welcome in everybody out there. This is the first ever, we're on record actually. You are the first ever person that I am interviewing for a serious job here at Big Dogs. You know, everyone else that I work with, whether it's Scott or Noah, gone through a weird process. So some of my friends at their normal jobs, you know, interview people, sit down and ask questions. So I figure the interview that we're going to be doing today is going to be very typical, a very entry-level business interview, nothing weird, nothing out of left field. Are you hearing those little pop-ups in the background?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So as long as you're not hearing them, we can continue on. Now, we're talking on Skype. This is being broadcasted through a different type of software, so I will let you know there is a counter in the bottom left corner for the number of times that I will be firing you throughout this interview process. You're at 1 already because you declined my initial Skype call. I think the way that I'm going to be deciding, who wins this is who gets fired the least amount of times throughout the interview process. But I do want to take this beginning portion to just thank you, first of all, Jack. How do you say your last name? McLeod?
Yeah, McLeod. You got it.
McLeod. All right. So we're here with Jack McLeod. Yeah. And Jack, I want to thank you, first off, for taking the time to go through the application process, to fill it out initially, to submit the video that you did for the second round, and now taking the time out of, I'm sure, your very, very, very busy life to come on here and chat with me for a second. So that is, on a serious note, that is appreciated from my view.
Of course. The appreciation goes both ways, Nick.
My man. So I want to start off this by letting you know why I pushed you through the first couple rounds. Okay, well, I think initially your work speaks for itself in terms of your portfolio, right? You are an industrial design major, is that true? Or is it architectural design, graphic design?
Yeah.
Big design
industrial
guy, right? Okay, so we have Jack here. He's an industrial design major. And he sent over his portfolio, which I'm going to throw a little video up right now of it. And for any of y'all that are interested, that will be linked in the description as well. So with Jack's work, I'm not exactly sure how you fit into the brand, to be honest with you, but I'm sure the work that you do, we could find a creative way to plug it into the content that we make and the creative energy that you bring to the brand, and I appreciate that. So that was one. First and foremost, your work spoke for itself. There was a lot of people excited about the opportunity to possibly intern with us, and I appreciate the passion that was behind their applications, but yours actually had a lot of talent behind it and skill, so I appreciated that. The second thing, you emailed me after I pushed you through the first round, and you were asking me some questions, how realistic is this? Am I going to be able to sleep at the headquarters throughout the summer? And initially I was like, is this fucking guy serious right now? And I started thinking about it more and more. And I was like, you know what? That could be a good thing because you're basically a slave to me. If I choose someone that lives out here in New York and he's coming to work with me, once or twice a week, I only have him for a few hours. If you're sleeping here, you have no choice but to work for me 24/7, 7 days a week, all day, all night. I can wake you up whenever I want and be like, I need you to get this done. So I started to look at that as a positive, and I appreciated the commitment that you had behind joining the brand. So that was the second thing. Now, you go to school at Georgia Tech. You are up north though, right?
Well, right now I'm at Clemson actually, but I live in New Hampshire.
Why are you at Clemson? You just figured that would be the funnest place.
I'm at my girlfriend's place.
You're at your girlfriend's place. Okay.
Yeah, excuse the weird decorations and shit. This is not my room, full disclosure, but
no,
figured I should probably get out of Atlanta.
Yeah, it's the weirdest decoration you have in this picture right now is probably your hair, so don't worry about it, brother. I also have the same basketball hoop that you have behind. I'm just kidding. It looks fucking fantastic. I have the same basketball hoop behind me at the headquarters. So if you do get selected, we could throw down and see what kind of skills you're bringing to the dunk contest over here. So
yeah,
those are my initial reasons for pushing you through. The talent was there. The commitment was obviously there. Now, your work, one of the things that stood out to me was the specific design that you created for an alarm clock. So you created this alarm clock with a water bottle, in a sense, within the alarm clock. So the person wouldn't be able to turn their alarm clock off without drinking a whole cup of water. So I'm sitting here and thinking, you know, we could use something like this. Have you ever put this into an actual product sample and tried pitching it to the market?
No, I haven't. I had a prototype that I presented for like our final end of year presentations, and it was like a whole 3D printed thing. You probably saw the pictures. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, that 3D printed stuff doesn't hold water. So if I filled it up, it would just leak all over the place.
Okay.
So I've never like actually pitched it to a board of people or tested it at all, really. I've like tried to do it myself, just drink a glass of water when I wake up, but it's obviously not as effective as the design.
Okay. Well, I think there's a lot to work with within that design. I think if we maybe pivoted away from water and had it filled with margaritas, it's something that we can channel into our audience and could possibly do very well. So your industrial design work is cool. You've had a lot of different projects that you've worked on that I think have come out great. And I think there's a lot of potential there to start, you know, developing new products, but you're also kind of a graphic design guy. You know, you're in the Photoshop game, you're in the Illustrator game, which I appreciate. Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to come here, right, we're obviously limited on space a little bit in the headquarters. I threw my bed into a little fucking room that I can barely fit in. Noah is like 6'4", or 6'5". I don't know where he's going to sleep. If you were to come here, what is your comfort level of sleeping in a place like a bathtub, on the floor, on the couch?
Yeah, I'd totally be down with sleeping in the couch, on the couch, rather. Or could bring an air mattress or something. That'd be totally fine with me. I'm not picky.
Yeah, that's probably the most reasonable approach. What would you say to me having you, you know, with your background, build your own bed to sleep on?
That would be sick. Yeah, we could go to Home Depot and buy some wood or something, put something together, and then, I don't know, sew together a mattress or something.
Would you be able to do that? Is that something that you could put into real life?
I could definitely make a bed frame, I think. I've got some woodworking experience. Making a mattress would probably be a little trickier, but, you know, even if it's just something to put an air mattress on top of, that would work.
Yeah, we could figure the mattress part out. I'm not too worried about that. So I think that could be a possible idea that we work out for you. I think that would be some good content as well. Now, your industrial design background, it's an interesting one, right? You hear a lot of college kids that come in with like communication majors or business majors or something like that. You don't normally hear industrial design, or really any kind of design. I think is kind of fascinating in today's world. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into like your thought process. What about industrial design do you like? Like, is it something from your background, or something the way that you came up, like your environment coming up? What exactly inspired you to go into the industrial design department?
Yeah, that's a good question. So
thank you.
When I was growing up, no problem. When I was growing up, I always wanted to be like some sort of engineer, I guess. Mechanical engineering interested me. Mm-hmm. Also architecture, but I really just liked the process of making things. And then at one point during high school, I got a job working at a Nike retail store. And then I kind of got a little obsessed with shoes. And I was like, man, it would be pretty sick if I could design shoes for a living. So that kind of became like a dream job of mine in the back of my head. But I also couldn't figure out like what type of degree that would take. So one day I was touring the Rhode Island School of Design with my mom. And we were touring it for architecture, but our tour guide was an industrial design major, and she was like, if you guys want to stick around after, we can check out our design studio and all that. So we figured it sounded pretty cool and followed along, and I was like, yeah, I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. So Georgia Tech was kind of already on my radar, and it turned out they had a program, so it kind of like all just fell into place.
Okay. How do you like living down there in Georgia? Is it your first time visiting there? Like when you went to school?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I toured it beforehand, but yeah, it's great. To be fair, I haven't spent the summer down there yet, which is when it gets really hot. And then like when, during August when we move in and stuff, it's pretty scorching for a few weeks, but it's a great city, honestly. Georgia Tech's right in the middle of Atlanta. I don't know if everybody watching knows that, but so it's like I'm not the biggest city guy, which might be a red flag since this is in New York City, but
Yeah, you're fired.
I definitely like to give it a try for months at a time. But I don't know if you've ever been to I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but it's like really spread out. It's obviously not like New York City at all, but there's a ton of green space and stuff. So the campus is really awesome. So I like it a lot.
So, piggybacking off that, you like the Georgia area because it's spaced out. Now, where are you from up north?
New Hampshire. It's like a small town. I think there's like 6,000 or 7,000 people that live there.
Okay. Wait, are you referring to New Hampshire being 6,000 or 7,000 people?
Yeah. No, my town in New Hampshire.
Okay.
But we're like an hour from Boston.
So you are aware that this internship would be in New York City?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you aware that the amount of green that you're going to see in New York City is close to zero?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Is that going to be okay? Are you going to be able to mentally get through that?
Yeah, I'll be able to get past it. You got that carpet, right?
Yeah.
The turf carpet?
We've got the carpet. That's a great answer. We have that. I did that to remind myself. I come from the suburbs as well, so sometimes I'm thinking about throwing a few crickets down there as well because I miss the nighttime cricket chirping going on. So if we have crickets running around the headquarters, it'll make me feel a little bit at home. Would that make you feel a little better too?
Yeah, we could make like a cricket farm or something maybe.
Okay. Cricket farm. That's another fucking design to knock down for you to put on the to-do list. Listen, I didn't think we'd have a lot of things for you to do, to be honest. Now I'm thinking about it. Like we could build out the place to no fucking end. This is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, coming from an industrial design standpoint, a lot of the stuff that you do is very image centric. So I have to ask, why the fuck don't you have an Instagram?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, one, for you personally. Second, for your work. Like either or. Like, don't your friends think that's weird that you don't have an Instagram?
Yeah, they do. I have thought several times I probably should make one for my work. The reason I haven't made a personal one is like, I feel like I get all of that on Twitter, to be honest. I actually had an Instagram for like a couple weeks, but I think I deleted it, or I deleted the app at least. But part of it is so I don't have to like do those corny appreciation posts all the time for my girlfriend and stuff. Okay. But no, mainly I think like Twitter just covers most of that. But I probably should get around to making one for my work and stuff, like a business Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, because when I go through the applications, one of the easier ways for me to narrow down whether or not there's a personality fit is really just looking at the Instagram. I think you could tell a lot about a person through the kind of pictures they put up, the appreciation posts that they put up or choose not to put up. And when I came across your profile, it was almost, a red flag. And I'm glad you put your portfolio and the other things in there, so that I can get to know you a little bit better as a person. But I think we're going to have to make you an Instagram if you do end up getting this this internship. So you're okay with the Instagram?
Yeah. I'm not like strongly opposed to it, I guess.
Okay.
Fine with that.
Just give me 1 second here.
Yeah, we cut out for a sec.
We're weaving our way through right now.
Oh, look who it is.
Okay, get in there, baby.
Good, can I ask?
Mr. Snacks, welcome to the building as our first ever special guest referee interviewer. You're looking serious, looking stone cold.
Well, stone cold determination is what these candidates bring, right? So I figure I reciprocate.
Okay.
A little underdressed, but we'll allow it.
You love to hear it. You love to hear the spice.
Whoa. Okay.
That's just the truth.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Now, can I ask you a question?
You may.
Okay. If selected for this internship, will you be bringing back your mullet? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, there you heard it, people. Jack, you with us still? Jack. All right, we're having some technical difficulties. You love to see that. Give us 1 minute. We'll get back on air. And you have heard it here. Jack will be bringing back the mullet. Look at this kid. You're an absolute stud with the mullet, man. So my question is, on top of Snack's question, that was really all I guess he wanted to ask. He saw your application. He saw the mullet that you once presented. And he said, Nick, I've never steered you wrong, and I don't plan on ever steering you wrong. Hire this kid immediately. That was Snacks' immediate reaction when he saw the mullet. So
where did you guys see the mullet? I was trying to figure that out, to be honest.
Don't worry about where we saw the mullet. The resources for where we find our information is not.
Did you find it on Venmo?
I didn't find it on Venmo. No. I will give you the Venmo as a lack of source, but there are plenty of other sources out there. Your mullet is all over the web. So that being said, I want to play a game of Truth or Dare. Okay. Do you know what Truth or Dare is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm familiar.
Well, you're up because I'm never up. It's your turn every time.
All right, let's do it.
You're on the clock. Pick one.
Oh, I'm asking you?
Truth or Dare, Jack?
Oh, let's go for a dare.
Let's go for a dare. Okay, he starts off the gate hot. Jack, I dare you to find the closest bottle of alcohol and go vertical on it.
Oh, man. Don't have any in the room, but I can grab one from downstairs. Does that work?
I'll keep the people occupied.
Do cans count?
Cans can count, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll be right back.
See you in a bit. Hello, 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 people. How we doing, y'all? I'm seeing the chats coming through now. Scott, is there long pauses? Is the technical shit set up? It's a fucking shit show on the tech side, me trying to run this back. I got overlays, I got fucking people jumping in and stuff.
All right, so we got a can of my personal beverage of choice, Rolling Rock right here.
Cheers.
And we're gonna have a go. It's lukewarm, so we'll see how it goes. But
extra style points. You really hear the chug there. Okay, that's enough for me. I appreciate the commitment. I was hoping that you had a bottle of tequila nearby because I remember from your resume that you're not a shot guy. So I'd love to put you in a coffin immediately out of the gate with this interview.
Not a tequila guy. I can do shots, just tequila. They usually do me in, but yeah, I wasn't gonna go for the tequila.
Okay.
But
truth or dare? One more time.
We'll go for truth this time.
Okay. So how long ago or how long did you have your mullet for? 2-part. Actually, it's like a 4-part question.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Also, did Snacks end the call on purpose there when we cut out, or is that like a technical?
So we've never really done this before, a 3-way Skype call. So I don't know. When he was supposed to leave, it was just supposed to be him leaving, and we were supposed to stay on. Unfortunately, like this is how shit works with our product. We never know what the fuck is going on, but I think that's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, the mullet. A fun fact, actually, as a kid, I always rocked a buzz cut for probably the first 14 years of my life or something. But then one year, I was playing baseball. I mean, I always played baseball, but I think first year of high school baseball, there's this dude on my team, Dave Walsh, and he had the sickest mullet that I've ever seen, probably. Well, I mean, not the sickest one I've ever seen in person, I guess. But so I was like, man, I might as well give that a try. So I just let it grow out for a while, and kind of the rest is history. It's sort of like a sine wave of mullet, not mullet again. So
what age was that at?
Probably 15, 14.
15, 14, and you had it on and off for a few years.
Yeah, I think I was a freshman in high school.
Okay, and how long does that mullet take to grow out?
It takes a bit, you know. I feel like my hair grows slower than the average person. Excuse me, just kind of upsetting, but yeah, usually the last time I buzzed it was probably like almost a year ago. And I had a pretty good mullet going in the winter. And then I think I took a little length off the top and some off the sides, and obviously everything off the back. So
obviously.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, I also do my own haircuts. So that's content right there.
Beautiful. So on that note, well, to finish the truth question, I want you to answer truthfully. Have you had any sexual encounters while you had the mullet? And don't lie, because I will check with the girls like they are references on your fucking resume.
Yeah. I mean, what do you consider to be the mullet?
You know what a mullet is. It's one of those things when you see it, you know it. You're like, holy shit, that guy's got a mullet.
No, yeah. Last time I had it, I would say it was the winter. I also had like a nasty ass beard going, but it didn't stop me, you know?
Okay. So so your answer is yes, there were.
Yeah.
Is your girlfriend watching right now?
No, I told her to leave. She's outside or something.
She's making food.
Yeah, she kind of wanted to watch it, but I told her we'd watch it later, I think. We'd rewatch it. So.
Were you nervous? Were you nervous about coming onto this?
Yeah. No, I won't lie. It's the first live interview I've ever had with a live audience. How many people are watching right now?
To be honest, I don't know. I would assume a few hundred, but I hear notifications popping off for comments every 2 seconds. So there are people definitely judging the shit out of you, probably talking a lot of shit about you right now too. Probably me too. But
okay.
That's fucking showbiz, baby. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, so last truth or dare question. You get one more to choose.
Let's go for another truth.
Okay, truth. So as from one person to another that cuts their own hair, on a scale of 1 to 10, and don't piss me off, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is my haircut?
I might need to see the back. The back is the hardest part to do by yourself. I would say.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I got it. I'd give that like. How long has that been grown out? That's relatively fresh, right?
Yeah, so I kind of just take 15 on the clippers and fuck it up on the sides and the back every like 1 or 2 weeks when I see it getting a little out of control.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd say that's like an 8.
An 8?
Strong. Yeah.
So you'd fuck me? I would say an 8. There's no other answer than yes if you're going to give me an 8.
Yeah, if I were a woman, we'll say yes, hypothetically.
You love to hear that. So do you have any tips for me as someone that cuts their own hair?
No. Do you ever have anyone like touch it up for you in the back and stuff?
Yeah, so when I first moved, I'm in Manhattan now, but when I first moved to Brooklyn, that was when like our brand was really just starting off, and I didn't know if we were going to be making any money, right? I had moved out of my mom's house, and so I was completely financially on my own. So one of the things I did, as a small business, you either making revenue or you're cutting expenses in order to raise that profit margin. I said, I need to cut expenses, so I'm going to start cutting my own fucking hair. As soon as we started making a little bit of money, then I started going to a real barber. But I have not been to a barber since probably 2 or 3 weeks since the lockdown started in New York City. So typically I will have someone touch up my hair, but for the time being, I will continue to throw 8s up and down the side and the back of my hair. I'm pleased with that.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you can wait a month or 2 more, I can help you out,
There you go. Man, you are just making yourself fucking useful and more useful with the ideas and the creativity behind it. So, on a serious note, as someone who I'm assuming consumes content, do you have any particular brands, companies, or just like individual content creators that you really enjoy watching, that you think do a really good job in your space? Like maybe someone that you watch their content daily or weekly or whatever. And what do you think it is about that brand or company or person that attracts you to them?
Yeah, I thought a question like this might come. One of my favorite subscriptions on YouTube is this guy named Mr. Foamer Simpson. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he has a a sneaker channel where it started with like unboxings, but it's kind of like they have this, it's like a lifestyle brand, streetwear almost. And they have this, they like drop sweatshirts and shorts and all kinds of stuff, and they all like sell out instantly. So I've been watching them for a few years, and it's really been cool to kind of see their channel transform into more of like a brand and stuff. And I think what makes them so good is they're really like these unique personalities, and they've developed these kind of like jokes almost, or sayings with their viewers, that everybody kind of knows, sort of like a similar thing that you do, I guess. And like, yeah, the video editing is super clean. He's got a brother who does all the editing, and he does most of the talking. They're these two like bearded New York City guys, and they're just very articulate with their words. Everything's real professional. So that's something that I've been real impressed with, even as like my interest in sneakers has kind of declined a little bit. I've still like gone back to their channel just to kind of see like what they're doing, and it's really good stuff, I think. So yeah.
So at the core of it, you subscribe to the personalities and the character of the brand, and you're interested. It's what keeps you coming back is seeing the progress and kind of the documentation of their success, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I have another, I guess, somewhat serious question. So this position, for any of you guys out there in the audience right now, this position's formal title is the general bitch-assness position. Now, as the general bitch-ass of Big Dogs Gotta Eat, Jack, what do you imagine in your mind, right? You get the job, you move out here to New York. What do you imagine like the day-to-day tasks being like? Well, like in your head, what do you think this position is?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure this out. Obviously, the main job function I think you listed was videotaping and stuff. So a lot of walking around with the camera in my hands, probably. Doing some graphic design work on the side for you guys when you guys want to pump out some graphics or content. So I'll be hanging out in the studio with my laptop, probably with Illustrator or Photoshop, like we set up. I was kind of thinking, like, I guess I was imagining almost like a think tank type of setting, like some brainstorming sessions of what kind of videos to make, or I don't know how you guys do it. I'm assuming it was some kind of like release calendar or something, but yeah, just like probably a tight knit sort of always working, but also like very casual, obviously, even though we're all in shirts and ties here, but like a casual, just productive environment.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I think what you touched on with one of your favorite content creators is the fact of seeing the success come to fruition. What we really want to do here is take the brand, the personality of the brand, and I don't want to say turn that into a reality show, because that's more or less making a caricature of yourself, right? That's kind of displaying something that's maybe not real, but we want to document the entire process. And that will pretty much be one of the major responsibilities of whoever gets hired for this position. So it's really having a camera in hand almost 24/7. And I think what gives you a nice edge is the fact that you will be here 24/7, but you couldn't be more spot on with, you know, what we really expect. Like as a team, you're going to come in here and start contributing from day one, and we will be looking at your ideas and the way you think about things creatively, as much of a part of the team as probably more than Snacks, to be honest with you. I'd probably be putting your opinion up there with those of my own and Scott's and stuff. We work together as a very close-knit team, and we will be using this as a think tank whenever we can actually, you know, open this up and get this bad boy rolling. Mm-hmm. So you were pretty spot on there, and I respect that answer. So if you were to come here and get the job, would you be open to a drug test?
Yes.
Okay. If you pass the drug test, you'd be fired.
All right, we can figure that out.
Okay, good. Now, as you can see, our technical setup is again ridiculous. We're waiting on a friend to come in. No mas. Okay. I do have a couple more questions for you, but we'll wait for the real questionnaire to come in. So far, Jack, I'd say you're doing a good job. I would say, though, I'll ask you, how many times throughout this interview do you think you've lied to me?
If I lied to you?
Yeah.
Hello?
There goes that man.
Yo, hold on. I got to turn this off.
I feel like I've probably lied, like, I don't know. I can't think of any instances off the top of my head, so to be safe, maybe like twice, I guess.
We'll get back to that. I'm fucking horrible with those sound effects. We have Stevie, not 4, not 3, not 2, but 1 fucking chain here. Stevie.
What's up, McLeod?
How we doing?
What's up, Stevie?
How you doing, bud? Dude, I was
doing well. There we go.
That's
Dude, I just
good.
made that.
Aliens.
Always generating content.
Yeah, Jack, you got to be thinking of memes all the time. That's one of our criteria. That's one of our underlying themes and cores of our brand.
A little OC. I can do that.
All right, Jack. All right, instead of 1 question, I figured I'd come up with 10, but they're not like, sorry, Nick, I didn't tell you that. They're not like hard questions.
Ridiculous.
They're like quick, lightning round, first answer that comes to your head, you know? If you're going to be moving in New York City, you know, New York City, city that doesn't sleep, quickness.
Yeah, of course.
All right, here we go. Oh, I got to find it. All right, here we go, lightning round. All right, if you're an NFL GM starting a new franchise, would you choose Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold as your new quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Good answer. Would you rather go to a big house party or go to a fancy New York City club?
Can you repeat that one?
Would you rather go to a big house party or a fancy New York City club?
Big house party.
All right. Do you prefer Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or are you an energy drink guy?
I don't drink any coffee, but I would have to say Dunks just because I'm from the Northeast.
Dunks. Cool, Dunks. All right. What celebrity do you most want to punch in the face? It could be a man or a woman. No judgment.
Oh, Jesus.
Quick, buddy. Come on.
Punch in the face? I'm not a fighter. I keep peace.
Okay, horrible answer. All right, if I gave you $1 million, what would your first purchase be?
A car.
A car. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you may be staying in New York City. If it was late one night and you heard someone break into Nick's apartment, would you hide and call the police, or would you grab a weapon and seek out what the disturbance was?
I'd grab a weapon, seek out the disturbance.
Oh, that's nice. All right. If Zendaya and Tom Brady were falling off a cliff and you could only save one, who would you save?
Is this a trick question?
No, that's real.
I'll have to go Zendaya for now because Tom Brady, he's in the doghouse a little bit right now.
All right. Yeah, I know you're a Boston fan, which sucks. Have you ever cried when you watched a movie?
Yes.
What movie?
Fuck.
Come on, dude.
This is Lord of the Rings. The last Lord of the Rings movie. I can explain.
Cry during Lord of the Rings? What part?
It was brutal.
All right. That's a nerdy movie to pick. All right. Who would you rather invite home with you to spend the week with your family and friends? Nick Snacks or Max the Animal?
Probably Nick.
Nick Snacks?
Probably. Wait, was it Nicky Snacks or Animal, or was it Nick Snacks?
No. It was Animal
what were the options?
Snacks, not you.
Oh. Only one of those two.
Yeah, Animal or Snacks. You got to bring them home, meet the family, meet the girlfriend.
It'd probably have to be Max the Animal.
All right, that's a good answer. All right, 2 more.
How many fucking questions you got here? You're at like 17 right now.
Actually, I did 11. I said 10. If you had no money and needed to get $10,000 to me by the end of the week, how would you try and make that money?
Gambling, probably.
Gambling.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
All right, and then the last one, it's a little bit open-ended, so you can elaborate. If Nick bought a 30-second spot and BDGE was going to produce a Super Bowl commercial, what would your idea be for that? Like, what kind of content would you put in that on a big stage?
Oh, man. For a Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah, Super Bowl commercial. Like, how would you kind of show the brand off? What would you do?
How would you show the brand off? You'd honestly probably just run some absurd clips of Snacks and Animal again. You know, those guys are, the people love them, so just do that.
I like that.
All right, Steve, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
you, Stevie.
Okay, there you go. I successfully kicked him out of the interview. All right, so listen, I respect you, one, for taking the very first time slot in this interview, man. We opened up the times. You immediately hit that noon Eastern, and I was like, this kid's about his business. He wants to go in. He wants to show out, dick up, dick down. These other two interns are going to be able to watch this, think they're going to be able to prepare, but it only gets more personalized from here on out. They're not getting these fucking cherry-pick questions out here. They will be – I hope to make one or two of them cry by the end of it. But you faced Stevie, One Chains. I wouldn't want to face him in an interview. I wouldn't want my family to face him in an interview, but you successfully survived that. So I respect that. You've gotten snacks. You've gotten One Chains. And we'll probably be wrapping up this interview very soon. I think I have one more question for you. Now, this is a brand in which I have obviously, put my heart and soul into, and everything I've built over the last 3 years has come to fruition in this fucking interview, I would say. And if you had, I don't know, even how familiar you even are with the content or the brand. I'm not asking you to fucking brown nose me right now, but if you could pick one or two things that you think we could improve as a brand, or individual content creators overall, what do you see when you watch us and you're like, I wish they did this, or I wish they did this better?
Let me think about that. I don't know. Maybe. I guess I used to like the, what was it, the In the Muck Mondays, the really in-depth, personalized player analysis. Maybe a little more of that. Some of the thumbnails. I don't know who does those. I don't want to insult them or anything, but
which
a lot of them are pretty similar, so maybe a little more diversity in the thumbnails.
Listen,
I don't know, those are just
you're a graphic design guy. I respect that that's where your eye is at. I do the thumbnails, but I'm horrible at designing things, but I think I've gotten a little bit better, to my credit. I do try to keep them consistent, because for SEO purposes, people see the mock drafts, they're clean, they click on it, but to your point,
that's fair.
The mock drafts, they come out during the summer for the most part. I try not to, push them too early, because people are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing putting out mock drafts right now? We'll get back into them. We need to find a sponsor for the video, because draft went under, and I need to find other ways to fill that revenue, which is another fucking problem. But I appreciate those suggestions. I see they're very fantasy focused, fantasy related. And because you had suggestions and you don't think we do anything perfectly, you will be fired for the third time. And 3 strikes, you are out. Jack, thank you for your time.
Oh, wait. I did think of another suggestion. Okay. Maybe just you could definitely do more on the merch end, I think. I saw your video the other day, and obviously that's not a big moneymaker, but I think there's potential there for sure. So that's another suggestion.
I was thinking about that with your design stuff. I think we could probably slap a lot of cool logos or a lot of cool creative kind of animation works onto it, and probably get some more stuff pushed during the summer. All right, Jack, how do you feel about taking some audience questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, first off, what are you drinking? Renee, I see you, baby. Little egg.
What am I drinking?
Yeah.
And here's just water.
It's water. You're staying hydrated.
I'm spilling all over myself.
I spilled right before I came on here. It's part of the brand, baby. All right. Let's see if there's any other good questions on here. People, give me some questions to ask him before we let him go. We're gonna put a minute on the clock.
I've got a couple questions for you. If you don't have any to ask me right now, is that okay?
Of course. That's my bad. I should have ended with that.
No, it's all good. How many hours a week could this job be? Is there something you had in mind, I guess?
It would be different for your situation because you would be living here. Ideally, what I'd want for this position is someone that is working, not just on my stuff, but on their own stuff, pretty much all week long, right? It's just, again, a creative think tank in a sense. So I'd never hold you to a certain amount of hours, but it would also depend on whether or not you would be getting college credits for it. So the college is, of course, going to ask for a minimum number of hours, and depending on whether the chosen applicant is looking for internship credits, I mean, we'd sway that, but realistically, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to put you on a timetable. It won't be anything serious like that. But I think realistically, once we start getting into things, I would hope that the intern would just like want to continue to work as much as we can throughout the week. Because, like you said, it's a work hard, play hard environment. So we get our work done and we see a lot of the success come to fruition. So it makes you want to work a little bit harder. But it's all fun work. It's all a lot of creative shit that you don't get a lot of experience with, especially from like an intern position.
All right. So do you think it could hit 40, basically? 40 a week?
Why are you asking? If you're about to get into like some health insurance shit, absolutely not. Okay.
No, just like that's I don't know, just like the general baseline, I guess, for other jobs.
It would. I would probably say it wouldn't hit 40, but like there might be weeks where you do. Like I work on the weekends. I work on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you count those hours into it, it would probably hit them. But again, like I don't. The way we work is kind of weird. Like a lot of things that most people wouldn't consider work, I consider work. So if you count those hours and shit, like why do you have the full-time 40 on your mind? Like what's the motivation behind that question?
Just like last summer, and I know a lot of internships is just like 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. So it was just kind of curiosity.
Yeah, no, it would be more so like whenever the fuck you wanted to wake up and I'd put something on your plate for you to work on and, get it done if we have a timeline. Okay. If not, you can go onto the fucking roof and go tan for a few hours, go out to happy hour if you want to. This will be your life, of course, but, we'll have goals and objectives that we want to get done throughout the day or throughout the week and whatnot. So it's definitely flexible.
Okay. Cool.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
Yeah, this is just like a random one, but I know you're from New Jersey, and since I live in Atlanta, I was just curious why you're a Falcons fan.
I tried to steer away from this conversation only because you did throw a 28-3 reference, I believe, or some kind of Falcons reference in your cover letter. And at the time right now, I didn't make a graphic to fire you for a fourth time, so we'll have to stick to the number 3 at the moment. I'm a Falcons fan because when you're a younger kid, you're very vulnerable, I think, right? And when Michael Vick came into the league, he just captured my eye when I was like 10 or 11 years old, like nothing I've ever seen before. And that would leave a lasting impact on you. So he became my favorite player very quickly, thus making me a Falcons fan, and I've stuck with them since. And yes, I'm from New Jersey. I live in New York, but I am a Falcons fan because of Mike Vick, taking advantage of my vulnerability when I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling it would be something to do with that. So
yeah, that's
makes sense.
That's Appreciate a long story short. Any other questions for me, Jack?
No, that's it. You pretty much hit the rest of them during the interview. So
okay,
we're good.
I do have one last final question. If I were to make you wear a suit every day for work, is that a deal breaker?
No. To be fair, I don't really own a suit, so we'd have to figure that out. But this is just like a sport coat. The pants don't fit me anymore. But yeah, I would do it.
Okay.
Dressing up's not bad.
Maybe we'll get you a custom suit that you have to wear whenever you're working 3, 4, 5 times a week. The 40 hours a week, we will have you in a custom Big Dog suit. All right?
All right, sounds good, yeah.
All right, Jack.
Any audience questions, or we don't have time for that?
You know what? Fuck them. We're going to skip the audience questions. I'm sure they were terrible anyways. You've answered my questions in more depth than I had even hoped for, and you did a fantastic job, all kidding aside, Jack. I really do appreciate you taking the time out to send the video, to do the application, to sit here and talk with me for a little bit. Cool, calm, collected. I appreciate your demeanor. I appreciate the passion and the creativity you have behind your work. So you will be hearing from me in, a day or 2 days, regardless of which way I decide to go with the internship. And that's really it for this call. So I appreciate you taking the time again. And you can go rewatch the video to see what the audience has to say about you.
All right, that sounds good. What time are the other interviews?
4 p.m. Eastern time and then 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, man. All right. Sounds good. Sweet. Thanks, Nick. That was fun.
Later, Jack. All right, YouTube homies. I'm going to kick it with y'all for another like 10 or 15 minutes. We could chat it up. And let me hear some of your guys' first impressions. How we feeling? Hire this guy. Like it. Long tail, butler outfit, white gloves. Love that too. Nick's a farce for asking for our questions. I'm just trying to get the community involved, you bitch. Nick, you're an HR nightmare. How do you figure? Any HR department would be absolutely lucky to fucking have me. I would 6x the ROI of the HR. Is my camera coming in really blurry? Because it looks really good on Ecamm Live, but then it looks kind of choppy on YouTube. I feel bad for him. Good. Nicolette, you're up. He's not sweet and innocent. I know how that motherfucker operates. His girlfriend lives in Clemson. You think what they're doing in Clemson is sweet and innocent? The hell no. Jack Snacks, not a reach whatsoever. Seems like he needs to be broken out of his shell. Yeah, Sam, I would agree with that. I think he's just a cool, calm, collected, not low energy, but he's whatever the fucking opposite of obnoxious is. And I appreciate that in people. I'd rather have someone like that working around me than someone who's loud and obnoxious. Need the fired 4 times graphic for next interview. Yeah, disagree. I disagree with your disagreeing. No, you are clear. Okay, cool. He didn't not set the bar. Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to come in strongly. I'll tell you what, he was, after I went through the initial, however many apps came in, maybe 60 or 70, Jack was top 3 right off the rip. I could tell by the work. I could tell by the personality. I was like, he'd be a good fit. I think he can come in here and offer something valuable to the team and really get on Snacks' bad side, which is a very low-key, important part of this job, because the best content that we can get out of Snacks is him being really fired up and angry. So if we can get angry Snacks, job well done by any intern. What did he lie about? Oh, I totally forgot to put that in the interview. So in his second round video submission, basically the way the rounds worked were you had to fill out a full application process, or you had to fill out a full application. And it was just your basic information, your social handles and cover letter, resume, and whatever. I need to figure out a way to fucking turn this popping comment section off. Ecamm Live. So the second round was a video submission. I made you make a video. I didn't care how long it was. I didn't care really what you put into it, but I wanted to, know who you are a little bit better as a person. I had to, he said in it, he's got an industrial design internship that he did last summer and that he had in the books for this upcoming summer. And he was like, you know what? If I put Big Dogs on my resume, it really wouldn't look that good. He basically was like, this is not going to look good to future jobs, to my future career. And he lied. Like, that's not true. Because it would look fucking actually terrible on his resume. So that was the lie he told. I don't know if he told any more throughout it, but I feel like he did a pretty good job, man. Seems like he might cut his pizza with a fork and knife. Mikey baby. Cover it with your hand. Cover what with my hand? Did he have a cover letter? Yes, he had a cover letter. I won't be sharing it with you guys. It was good though. It it was fun. It was a good time. Nick's first interview. My cousins are watching this. Good shit. All right, y'all. So that is probably thanks, Yannick, man. Thanks for the fucking 42-minute late response on my camera. Okay, I have a lot more work to do. I have to prep for the following interviews, which will take place at 4 o'clock. And then again at 5 o'clock, we do have 2 more candidates coming in. So that was just the first of the 3. He set the bar pretty high. I really appreciated the energy that he brought, or the lack thereof, whatever way you want to put it. So I have to go get ready for those, do some work in between, maybe shower for the first time in like 2 or 3 days, maybe give myself another haircut because I feel like this is looking fucking absolutely garbage, even though that's what he lied about too, that this was a fucking 8 haircut. This is the worst fucking haircut a human being has worn during the quarantine. So public, what the fuck's that word? PSA? Yeah, PSA. Under no circumstances should you be cutting your own hair during quarantine. Get somebody else to fucking do it for you. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around and joining me for the first ever Big Dogs internship interview. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Jack's girlfriend if she's watching this later. That's it. I'll see y'all at 4 o'clock.